Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1983. Today, we're going to talk about A Tick Attack. The story of A Tick Attack takes us back to Ultimate Play the Game. We previously talked about Ultimate Play the Game in our video on Jetpack. Much like Jetpack, A Tick Attack was created by Tim and Chris Stamper, with Tim working on the gameplay and Chris working on the graphics. Also much like Jetpack, that's about all the information that's been made public. A Tick Attack is an adventure maze game. The player can play as either a wizard, a knight, or a serf. Each of these characters will come with a different weapon for the quest. The player is then dropped into a castle in the middle of a complex maze. The player's goal is to collect 3 pieces of a golden key and escape from the castle. Each character will also have access to their own secret tunnel, which means that each character can navigate the castle differently. On top of the pieces of the golden key, there are several other items that the player can use to unlock doors or affect certain enemies, as well as some items that do nothing at all. Enemies must be dealt with in several different ways, including several that require special items to distract them or to kill them. The player has a limited amount of health. The health can be drained by enemies, by poisonous mushrooms, and by moving. If the player is unable to find enough food in the castle, the player will die of starvation. The player has 3 lives to try to escape the castle. When the player loses a life, a gravestone will appear where the player died. The gravestone will remain in that spot for the remainder of the game. Ultimate Play the Game published A Tick Attack for the ZX Spectrum in 1983. That is the short backstory to A Tick Attack. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game. This is A Tick Attack. As you can see, we have a few options here. You can set up your controls. You can either set it up on the keyboard, which I highly recommend not doing. And then we have 2 different kinds of joysticks, depending on how, if you have one, you set it up. But there are 3 characters we can choose from: the knight, the wizard, and the serf, and then we can start the game. Now, I highly recommend setting up a joystick for this game if you have one available. The control scheme on the keyboard, they're not good. The control scheme, for the record, is left is Q, right is W, down is E, up is R, and attack is T, and to pick up or drop an item is Z. I never got used to it. I tried it for a little bit. I would recommend not doing it that way. The joystick makes things so much easier. We will play as the knight to start. We will go through the other ones as we continue. But for now, we will play with the joystick setup and the knight. Let's get into it. All right, you can see my health on the right, represented by a giant turkey. We'll just start moving around here. We're going to explore as best we can, get some lollipop for some health back. We'll go through the open doors. I'll pick this up. The doors kind of open and close kind of randomly. Down there is the green door. We need a green key for that. Look what I found. Green key. All right, we'll go through this door now, see if we can't find something. All right, I found the red key with a mummy. All right, we can only hold 3 items at a time. All right, let's go through there. But we will see what I can find here. All right, well, I don't need any of that. Please just let me through. I don't need that either. There was a sign that said ACG and pointed me in a direction, but I didn't see a key that way. They gave me the red key, but not parts of the golden key. Alright, we'll grab that. We'll just kind of keep going. They're pointing me this way. We will see what I can find. This is the only way I can go. Well, that just leads me to the exit, and that's not what I need right now because I don't have the pieces of the key. Once again, they're kind of pointing me this general direction, but that's the way that I went. Now, if there is a comprehensive guide to this game, I was unable to find it, so I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants here. I'm sure that the map is the same each time, but I do not have it memorized. Just kind of going with what makes sense to me at the time. All right, open the door. Let me through. They're pointing me this way. We'll try that. And a red key here. That spawned a little bit sooner than I thought. Just health everywhere. That is an item that I can pick up, but it does not look like it's super important to me. All right, let's drop down. Haven't been able to find anything for the golden key yet. That is a wrench. I'm going to leave that alone. There are a lot of items in this game that don't do much. Hey, blue key. I will take that. And I only have room for 3 things in my inventory, so I dropped the crucifix, or cross, just the cross. That would have been useful should we have encountered, I believe, Dracula. Or at least a vampire of some sort. And that was him. Can we go this way? Just for an apple. All right, now, to be honest, although I have tried a few times, I have not been able to find any pieces of the golden key. So I'm not even sure what they look like. I assume I will recognize it when I see it, but that is not entirely going to be true. That is a lot of health. I don't need that much. All right, back upstairs, it looks like. Oh, a couple here. More health. They're being very nice with the health so far. But who knows if that's going to continue. If memory serves me right, although a lot of the items will stay the same, the pieces of the golden key may change where they spawn. No. Let me through. There we go. And we're back here. Do I want to fall? Let's fall. See what we can find. I need lots of things. All right, well, we have the yellow key, not to be confused with the golden key. We'll see what it allows me to kind of do here. What can I do down here? All right, there's the green key again, the one that I dropped, I believe. I could use the health now. I don't have the green key, right? That's the one that I don't have anymore. Maybe the green key would be useful. There's lots of green doors around here. We'll try it. Dropped the red one. Not sure if that's going to be the way I want to go, but we'll see what I can do. Okay, this way. And now we have you. We're just going to ignore you. To get more food. Actually, I can go through you. Just for health. As far as I can tell. Oh, nope. Secret passage for me. Through the grandfather clocks. Alright, but not super helpful. Alright. And then I can go through the green one. Is this a piece of the golden key? It might be. Yes, that looks like a piece of the golden key to me. We at least have one of the pieces. Is that also one? No, that looks like a bat wing to me. Alright. Back set up the way that I probably should be. And we will keep going. We'll try going down. Maybe there's another one down there. Can I go through that? No. Can't go through that. I don't have the right key for that anymore. There's too many keys. Eventually, I would need, like, a plan of action here. All right, we got Frankenstein's monster, it looks like. We're just going to avoid him. There's that wrench again. Some food for me. I feel like there should be a piece of the key down here at some point, but which direction that is, I have no idea. Can I go through this? I can. It just kind of leads me back to a spot that I'm not really super enthusiastic about going to. And we have been here before, so we're starting to loop around a bit. Let's go through here. I remember that piece, but I still don't think that it's going to be useful for me compared to keys and, you know, a piece of the final key. All right, we'll avoid dropping down. We're pretty high up. See, once again, ACG, that is the way out. That is the door that we ultimately need to go through. All right, can I get out now? But I need the red key for that, and I don't have it. I don't remember where I dropped it. It was further down, so I guess we'll drop. There it is. All right, we will pick up that one, and then we'll try to figure out how I get up from here. Get some food. I remember that it was there. Can I go? If I stand still, hopefully it takes up less food. All right, the red key, then through here. Just kind of circles me around, and we have our first death because it put me on top of the enemy that I don't know how to deal with. Or at least I don't have the item to deal with them. All right, can't go through there. Let's go this way. All right, food's always useful. That food can stay because I might need it for later. All right, this is the opposite direction of the way I wanted to go, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, don't touch the mushrooms either. What's through here? I assume that those 1884s are a secret passage just for someone else, because I go through grandfather clocks. Okay, this way? I assume the bookcases are the same thing. Anything good? What's through all this? Yeah, the wrench. I don't remember how to get up and out of here. This way, and we'll try going to the right as much as I can. All right, around, looks, I still think Frankenstein's monster. No, just keep on attacking and hopefully they die. And I can't go that way. Okay, so we have to go this way. Just doing what we can. Alright, I don't need that anymore. And I feel like I've cleared out quite a good chunk of the dungeon, but I still haven't figured out where to go. Alright, so that's got to be a piece of the golden key. That is my thought. So I have two pieces. But how to get out is a whole nother question. I just tried to avoid enemies, and now I'm kind of stuck on this path that I probably shouldn't go. Let's go back. We've been going for 10 minutes. This is my longest run to date. I have two pieces of the key, as far as I can tell. No. Alright, that didn't work out well. There's some food. And that is a key I don't have. Am I going to need a key just to get out? That shouldn't be the case. Come on. The other one, because I think we got one on this kind of ground floor. We got one on kind of the middle floor. I think I need to go up to the top floor. That'd be my guess. Like one piece of the key on each part of the floor. Okay, there we go. There's the stairs up. That's what I need. Food, please. We might actually be able to do it if I can pull this off. I don't have high hopes, but I have hopes. Alright, I remember that, and I could just avoid that. Do I have to go higher than this? Come on, let me out! This way? I want to go further to the right. I don't trust any of the arrow things. Well, that took me back to the beginning. We never did figure out what was up there because I don't have that key. Is that rotten meat? Nope, it's good meat. Just because it's green don't mean you should judge it. Where am I going here? Let's just go this way. I do have the red key still. Not gonna fall because I think that the last piece of the key should be higher up. I remember seeing that several times. Once again, I don't want to fall. How are we doing? We're doing okay. Come on, let me through. Alright, I guess we'll go this way because I went to the right, didn't find it. If we just ignore all the signs and pretend that they don't know what they're talking about, because so far they haven't. Take that, and I think this leads me downstairs. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I recognize this room. Come on, I want through the right door. There we go. Food for me. Can ignore that because I just got full. Alright, I vaguely remember the mummy. And this leads me back to the entrance. Yeah. Alright, so there's got to be a way for me to get higher than this. Because this seems like it would be kind of the middle floor, you know, where the exit is. So how do I get up from here? Like, there's so many things that I need keys for, but I can't hold on to the keys. You know what I could do? I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Just let me out. I could... Oh, this is the way up. Never mind. I was thinking I could drop the pieces of the golden key in the room. I think that's Dracula. No! After all that, I fell. I could drop the pieces of the golden key in the room with the exit, and then I could just try to pick them up there later. I've been going for a long time. We might not get a chance to see the other characters. Right, if this is the way out, yeah, so let's drop the 2 pieces of the key, grab that one, and move on. That might be the smarter way for me to go, so I still have inventory space for the other keys that I need, which are many, even though I haven't seen a key in a while. I can't remember which way it was. Can't go that way, so we're going to assume it wasn't that way. But there was a way for me to get up higher. If you could let me out, please. Thank you. I think it was this way. Yes, it was. Alright, I don't want to go that way because that led to me falling. Can't go that way. So it has to be that way. I need food. Oh, I went through there. That's what did me in. Could use food. That is money. That is not food. You cannot eat money. Last I tried, at least. Can I get... No! I didn't mean to do that. Where are my keys? Alright, so this is the way back up. Still assuming that it's here somewhere. And down I go. It was bound to happen. But we have some more lives, so hopefully we can get through this. Alright, let's... No! I held down thinking that I could avoid the pit, but that did not happen at all. No, it's got to be this way. There's the mummy. we're possibly getting through this. Yeah, so much for me doing like a run with everybody. I will try to show off what other people can do, but we're not going to do a full run with everybody at this rate. Everybody plays very similarly, if we're being honest. Alright, that's down. You know what? I might need to go down to get the keys that I have lying around who knows where. I don't remember where my keys are. That's a bat wing. That's not going to help me with anything, I don't think. We'll just keep going left. There's a key. No. Yeah, hitting the pickup button also rotates everything that you have. So let's drop that and... No. There we go. Okay. And I'm very low on health. There's some food. I also died there. Don't want to fall further, because eventually I want to go up. There's the bat wing. So I think if I just keep following that, nope. And down I go. All right, we have one more life. I want to go up. I died to try to go up. Let me go up. All right, there's some food. Nope. Then we go this way. Eventually I need to go back down. And there's another key. Alright, we'll get some food and then we'll try to get out of here. Now that I have 3 keys, I'm fairly confident trying to get out, but I keep on going in circles. It has to be down further. I just don't remember how to get down. Alright, there we go. The mummy needs to go. Let me open. All right, there. Okay, we made it. Like, if anything's gonna get me, it's the lack of food because I've eaten so much. Yeah, that takes me downstairs. I want to go further upstairs from here. Because I've eaten so much food, it's not respawning quickly enough for me to get it. And that might do me in. Alright, let's just go through. Oh, there's something. I will take it. I still don't have the green key. But that is okay. I have 3 keys. And I hope that's enough to get everything that I need, but you never know. Food? I got some food, alright. I live for at least a few more rounds. There we go. Alright, there's like... there's a small room with like 4 paths out. There we go. And that's what I'm looking for. Because down will lead me upstairs, and that was not the room. I was hoping that was it. I feel like I've gone this path many times before. Yep, I have. I want up. Alright, that's game over. I got 67% done in a little over 20 minutes. That is my best run. I have never been able to escape, but I feel like we got close there. Like I said before, I'm just going to show off quickly what the Wizard and the Surf can do. We're not going to spend a lot of time doing this. But we almost did it. We had 2 of the 3 pieces of the key, and they were in the room. But we kind of ran out. So the wizard, it's pretty much the same thing except of throwing a weapon. I believe it was kind of an axe. We have like this magical thing that we throw. Other than that, it's essentially the same. And you can go through the bookcases. Fair enough. Okay, so we will try to die here. So I can show off the other one. And you can't go through these? No. Let's try to find an enemy that doesn't... what am I doing picking up food? That doesn't die when I touch them. There's a piece of the golden key, though. I'll grab that. Like I said, it does move. So... there is something to that. So it takes a while to die when you're trying to do it on purpose. I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping to find like one of those Draculas or... well, I don't have that, so I have to go this way. Or like Frankenstein's monster or the demon or something that would just kind of stay there forever. All right, there's one death. Because as far as I know, there's not a quick way for me to die. Gotta do it like the old-fashioned way. Just run into everything that I can find. All right, there's 2. Just avoid the food. Without the food, it is very difficult to stay alive for a long time. They do respawn the food, but not quickly enough. Alright, and there we go. Down to my last life. Can I not go this way? Oh, it's closed and there's a gravestone on it. That's what's happening. And there we go. I still got 15% done just by grabbing that one piece. Okay. Can we move on? Nope, that is the menu. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So then the final one that I wanted to show off was the surf. Just kind of a quick look at what he can do. And he throws a sword or a dagger. Probably a dagger. And we'll see what he can go through, and then we will try to kill him. He does actually control a little bit differently than everyone else. He's got a little bit more momentum that I'm not used to. Alright, so you probably can't go through the bookshelf. Because that's what the wizard did. You can go through the 1884s. Okay. Yeah, he's got momentum. Like, you can kind of see it there. He just kind of keeps going and slows down a bit. I'm not used to that. But that is a tick attack. We're almost able to win, but unfortunately kind of ran out of food, couldn't figure out where that last piece of the key was, so we weren't able to fully beat the game. But with the game now played, it is time to talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, the game is definitely fun with an asterisk if you have the proper control scheme. If you do not have the proper control scheme, if you're playing on the keyboard setup that it kind of wants you to go with, the game is not fun. It was very frustrating when I was practicing that. I had to go out of my way to try to figure out how to play without that bad setup. But once I was able to get through that, the game was very fun. And there was definitely a sense of accomplishment that I got from being able to get 2 pieces of the key together. I could not find that third piece, couldn't get out, and that is something that I might go back and try to do on my own time. Like, that is something that brings me back to the game. In terms of the gameplay and how it holds up, I think it holds up fairly well. I didn't necessarily like the aspect of the game where you were basically like waiting for doors to open. I just kind of wanted to move on, but that is a way for you to need to fight the enemies, kind of make the death timer in your food supply be more apparent. So I understand the purpose of it, but that was the one thing that I particularly didn't like about it. And the need to have more keys than I had inventory spots. I had to have 3 pieces of the golden key, and then I also needed to have 4 keys in order to open up all the doors that were available to me. That was also something that I didn't particularly enjoy, but I understand why they did that. The graphics, I think, were done pretty well. Everything looked like it was supposed to. I wouldn't necessarily say surf when I was looking at the surf, but the wizard looked like a wizard, the knight looked like a knight, and the surf looked like a person. So I guess that makes some sense. The enemies were definitely what I expected them to look like. The doors and all the background did look like they were supposed to. And for a system as limited as the ZX Spectrum, that makes that means a lot. So I would say that the graphics did hold up well. In terms of the sound, once again, it's a ZX Spectrum, so there's not a lot of sound, but what was there made sense. There were beeps and boops, and that's basically what you're going to get. Did it necessarily sound like I was doing the things that I was doing? No, but once again, the ZX Spectrum. So overall, I think the game held up pretty well. It's a game that not a lot of people, at least not a lot of people that I've talked to, remember, but it is one of those games that held up, I think, pretty well. The only thing would be the control scheme. That was my major complaint going into the game, but since I was able to fix it, I had a lot of fun. So in terms of would I recommend this to somebody that has not heard of it and is a modern video game player, I think I would. Once again, as long as you can get the control scheme set up the way that it probably needs, the game is fun and you can get some enjoyment out of it. So I would recommend it to people that are fans of dungeons and action games and quests and things like that. I think this ticks all those boxes. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, A Tick Attack proved to be popular among the critics. In particular, the critics praised the graphics and the adventure. However, the controls and lack of instruction were seen as negative aspects of the game. A Tick Attack was also popular among the audience. The game would top the sales charts in the United Kingdom. As time has gone on, the game has been largely forgotten, although it did occasionally make best ZX Spectrum games of all time lists. A Tick Attack would see just one port, which was to another British computer in 1983. As for Ultimate Play the Game, the company would continue to work on video games, and we will hear from the company again. That means that we will also hear from Tim and Chris Stamper in the future as we continue as well. That will do it for the story of A Tick Attack for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we return to save the town.